For decades, Somalia was synonymous with chaos, civil war, famine, and piracy. The world watched as the country was torn apart by conflict, its people enduring unimaginable hardship. Images of suffering and instability became the defining narrative, overshadowing the resilience and spirit of the Somali people. The world saw a failed state, focusing only on containing its problems. International headlines painted Somalia as a place to be managed, not engaged with, a distant crisis rather than a nation with potential. But today, a new story is emerging. The sun rises over Mogadishu, and with it, hope for a different future. The city is awakening, and so is the country. Diplomats are returning to Mogadishu, embassies are reopening, and international companies are exploring opportunities. The world is beginning to see Somalia not just as a problem, but as a partner. Military advisors are training Somali forces, not just for aid, but for strategy and influence. These partnerships are about building capacity and forging new alliances, signaling a shift in how Somalia is perceived. Somalia's potential is now in the spotlight. Its cities are buzzing with new construction, and entrepreneurs are driving innovation in unexpected places. The conversation has shifted from crisis management to strategic partnership. International actors are now seeking collaboration, recognizing Somalia's growing importance on the world stage. Why the change? Geography, economics, and shifting global power. Somalia's location is drawing attention from investors and governments alike, eager to tap into new opportunities. Somalia sits at a critical maritime crossroads, its coastline a strategic asset. Over 3,000 kilometers of shoreline connect vital shipping lanes, making it a gateway between Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. As global competition intensifies, Somalia's location is more valuable than ever. Ports are expanding and trade is increasing, bringing new possibilities for growth. The Horn of Africa is now a battleground for influence, and Somalia is at its heart. Major powers are establishing a presence, each vying for a stake in the region's future. A stable Somalia is a major prize. For its people, it means education, opportunity, and a chance to rebuild. For the world, it means security and access to new markets. This video explores Somalia's transformation into a geopolitical hotspot. We'll uncover the forces driving change and the stakes for everyone involved. We'll examine its troubled history, the interests of major players, and the challenges ahead. Understanding Somalia's journey is key to understanding its future. From Al-Shabaab to internal politics, obstacles remain. Security threats and political division still cast long shadows, but progress is undeniable. But Somalia's direction has changed. A new generation is connected, ambitious, and determined to shape their own destiny. The world is paying attention, and for good reason. Somalia's story is no longer just about survival, but about resurgence and hope. Let's dive into why Somalia matters now more than ever. Its future will shape not only the Horn of Africa, but the balance of power far beyond its borders. The stakes have never been higher. Somalia stands at a crossroads. Its choices today will echo for generations to come. To truly understand Somalia's present-day challenges, we must journey back to the pivotal moment of its collapse in 1991, a turning point that would shape the nation's fate for decades to come. The sudden fall of Siad Barre's regime didn't just topple a government, it shattered the very foundation of Somali society, unleashing a wave of violence as warlords and clan militias scrambled for power in the vacuum left behind. Mogadishu, once a bustling capital, was transformed into a war zone. Government institutions crumbled overnight, leaving ordinary citizens to fend for themselves amid chaos and destruction. As rival factions fought for control, famine and relentless violence swept across the country, creating one of the world's worst humanitarian disasters. Families were torn apart, and millions faced starvation and displacement. The world could not look away. In 1992, Operation Restore Hope brought US and UN forces to Somalia, aiming to deliver aid and restore order. But the mission faltered after the infamous Black Hawk Down incident, exposing the dangers of intervention in such a volatile environment. After the tragic losses, Western forces withdrew, leaving Somalia to its fate. The power vacuum persisted and chaos became the new normal for many Somalis. With no stable government or economic opportunities, piracy soon emerged as a desperate means of survival. Young men, with few options, turned to hijacking ships in the Gulf of Aden, making headlines around the world. At its peak, Somali piracy disrupted global trade and cost the world economy billions of dollars each year, threatening vital shipping lanes and insurance markets. In response, international naval patrols began to police the waters off Somalia's coast, eventually curbing the threat. Yet, these efforts only address the symptoms, not the underlying disease of state collapse. The piracy crisis was a wake-up call, proving that Somalia's instability could no longer be ignored. Its troubles sent shockwaves far beyond its borders. The world was forced to re-engage, but this time, with greater caution and a deeper understanding of the complexities on the ground. The lesson was clear: what happens in Somalia doesn't stay in Somalia. Its instability sent refugees across borders and affected neighboring countries and global security. Instability here ripples across continents and oceans, impacting trade, migration, and international relations. The world learned a hard lesson. Ignoring Somalia was no longer an option. Its crisis demanded attention and action from the international community. The urgent need for a functioning Somali state became undeniable. Rebuilding institutions and restoring governance was the only path forward. Somalia's chaos served as both a warning and a call to action for the world, a reminder of the cost of neglect and the importance of peace. Today, renewed international interest and investment in Somalia are shaped by these hard-earned lessons as the world seeks to support stability and growth. The past still casts a long shadow over Somalia's future, reminding us that history's wounds take time to heal. But now, the world is watching more closely than ever, determined not to repeat the mistakes of the past, and hopeful that Somalia's legacy of chaos can finally give way to a new era of peace. Somalia's geography is its greatest asset. With Africa's longest coastline, it commands the Horn of Africa. Its shores border the Gulf of Aden and the Indian Ocean, vital arteries for global trade. Billions in goods and energy pass by daily. Whoever influences Somalia shapes the security of these sea lanes. Global powers see Somalia as prime real estate for projecting power. Ports here offer naval access and economic opportunity. Foreign investment in Somali ports is booming. The coastline also holds rich fish stocks, long exploited by outsiders. A stable Somalia could build a thriving fishing industry, creating jobs and revenue. Geography has made Somalia a key player in global trade and security. Its future depends on turning this potential into prosperity. Somalia's strategic value has drawn a diverse cast of international actors. Middle Eastern rivals like the UAE and Qatar back competing Somali factions, investing in ports and security forces. Their rivalry extends their broader regional struggle into Somalia. The US focuses on counter-terrorism, training Somali forces, and targeting al-Shabaab. China pursues infrastructure and economic ties, eyeing Somalia for its Belt and Road Initiative. Neighbors, Ethiopia, Kenya, Djibouti, seek stability, contributing troops and managing refugee flows. Each player has its own vision for Somalia's future. Their actions shape Somalia's politics and security. The Horn of Africa is now a stage for global competition. Somalia is at the center of this new great game. The stakes are high, and alliances are constantly shifting. Among Somalia's partners, Turkey stands out. Turkey's engagement began during the 2011 famine, when Erdogan's visit won Somali hearts. Turkish companies rebuilt Mogadishu's airport and seaport, vital economic lifelines. Turkey has built hospitals, schools, and roads, and offers scholarships to Somali students. Its military base in Mogadishu trains Somali soldiers, helping build a national army. For Turkey, Somalia is a gateway to Africa and a strategic foothold near key sea lanes. This blend of aid, investment, and security has made Turkey a dominant force in Somalia's revival. The partnership is deep, multifaceted, and influential. Turkey's model is reshaping Somalia's future. The UAE and Qatar's rivalry has deeply affected Somalia. The UAE backs regional states like Puntland and Somaliland, investing in ports and security. Qatar supports the central government, fueling political infighting. This proxy conflict undermines national unity and complicates security. Somalia's internal divisions are often exploited by external powers. The US and China are competing for influence in Somalia. The US focuses on counter-terrorism, supporting Somali forces and targeting al-Shabaab. China invests in infrastructure and diplomacy, positioning Somalia within its Belt and Road Initiative. The US offers security, China offers development. Somalia must balance these interests, leveraging both without becoming dependent. The choices Somalia makes will shape its future for decades. Superpower rivalry brings both opportunity and risk. Somalia is navigating a delicate balancing act. Its leaders must play this game wisely. Somalia's offshore basins may hold vast oil and gas reserves. Instability long deterred exploration, but improved security is changing that. New petroleum laws and licensing rounds are attracting major companies like Shell and ExxonMobil. An energy boom could transform Somalia's economy, or fuel corruption and conflict. Managing this wealth responsibly is crucial. Oil could be a blessing or a curse. The world is watching how Somalia handles its energy future. The stakes are enormous. Somalia stands at a crossroads, promise and peril intertwined. The nation's journey forward is marked by both hope and uncertainty, as its people strive to overcome decades of conflict and hardship. Every sunrise over Mogadishu brings new opportunities, but also new challenges that must be faced with courage and determination. Progress is real, a functioning government is taking shape, economic recovery is underway, and a hopeful new generation is stepping forward. Across the country, young Somalis are embracing education, entrepreneurship, and innovation, eager to build a brighter future for themselves and their communities. International engagement offers investment and partnership, opening doors to new markets and ideas. The world's attention brings resources and expertise, helping Somalia rebuild its institutions and infrastructure. But challenges remain. Al-Shabaab's insurgency continues to threaten security, while political infighting and deep-rooted clan divisions complicate efforts at unity and peace. The path to stability is fraught with obstacles that demand resilience and cooperation. The drawdown of African Union troops puts pressure on Somali forces, who must now shoulder greater responsibility for the nation's security. Their success will depend on training, resources, and the trust of the people they protect. Building inclusive institutions and a national identity is a monumental task. It requires bridging divides, fostering dialogue, and ensuring that every voice is heard in shaping Somalia's future. Somalia's future depends on wise leadership and resilient people, those who refuse to give up, who rebuild homes, educate children, and inspire hope even in the face of adversity. The world must engage with focus, not pity. True partnership means supporting Somali-led solutions and respecting the country's sovereignty, while working together to address shared challenges. A stable Somalia could anchor the Horn of Africa and become a model for recovery, resilience, and regional cooperation. Its strategic location offers immense potential for trade and growth. Failure, however, risks renewed instability and crisis, not just for Somalia, but for the entire region. The consequences of inaction would be felt far beyond its borders. The story is still being written. Each day brings new chapters, shaped by the choices and actions of Somalis everywhere. Somalia's fate will be shaped by its people, and by the global forces converging on its shores. The future remains unwritten, full of both risk and possibility. The world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher. What happens next will define not only Somalia's destiny, but the future of an entire region.